My stress is continuing, but I'm finally starting to see light at the end of the tunnel. Hi everybody, it is time to set up my bullet journal for the month of June 2021. If you have been following my channel at all, you know that I have been in the process of getting ready to move. We are now in contract on both this Napa house and our new house in Colorado, which is a interstate move, California to Colorado. Our timeline did get shifted though, and I'm going to have an update video going up later this week that will, and I'll leave it linked below once it's up, that will explain kind of some of the reasons the timeline has shifted, but we thought we were gonna move in mid-June, and instead we will be moving out of this house at the beginning of July and into our new house in mid-July. So we'll be kind of hoteling it for a little while with the cats, because that doesn't sound stressful at all. Everything I thought we had to get done in May is now getting pushed to June, but there are also things that we weren't expecting to have to do. Like I didn't think we were gonna have to have a garage sale, but now we're Cat, your pizza's buzzing. I'm gonna give it like 3 more minutes. Trying to film while your kids are also making their lunch. This is my life this week. Anyway, where was I at? Oh yeah, so we're gonna have to have a garage sale. There's things that are happening in June that I didn't expect to have to do. So it's gonna be another intense month, and my bullet journal needs to help me through that. So I'll be giving up a few things. You'll see as I get through this, there's at least one major chunk of my bullet journal that I will not be really maintaining in June. You'll see as we get into it. I won't be putting a ton of the project planning for this move into my bullet journal. There will be some lists I'm making. I love to make lists in my bullet journal, but a lot of the moving parts and the project planning I will be doing in Notion, because Jesse and I have a shared workspace and it's easier for us to work back and forth that way. I will be doing a video on how I'm using Notion and how I integrate it with the rest of my planning system, but that's not going to come until after we move, because it's going to be a little bit more of a complicated video, and I don't have the brain power for it right now, let's be real. I would love to know though, any questions you have about Notion. Maybe I can answer some of them, like what is it, or what do you use it for, blah, blah, blah. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below so I can both try and answer them now and take note of them for the video that I'm gonna make. Supplies this month aren't looking any different than most of my months. I'm using my Baron Fig plus size journal with its cover. I actually think June might be the last month in it, potentially July. I don't know how detailed of a situation I'm gonna do in July, because I'm gonna be homeless for the first half of it and moving into my house for the second half. So I don't know what July is gonna look like or how much space I'm gonna have by the end of June. Suffice it to say, I'll have to decide on a new journal either in July or August. And if you have not seen any of my recent videos about Scribbles That Matter and the Passion Journal, you'll know that I am confused as to which one I'm going to use next. But currently it's my Baron Fig, which I really love, and it is serving me well. Pens this month, I'm sticking just to my Pitt Artist Pen fine liners, mostly in the smaller sizes, extra small, small, and fine, because that's what I felt like doing this month. I also have a cutting mat and a cutter for my Dutch door. And as for the color scheme this month, for the first time I'm really introducing blue into it, which I'm excited about. Last month, I believe it was, I offered the Lily of the Valley. I think it's the flower of May, and it lost, but I brought it back this month, and it was a tight race. If you don't know, my patrons get to vote on my bullet journal theme, which is basically just the doodle I pick and the colors every month. And it was a very tight race between the Lily of the Valley and the Honeysuckle. So Honeysuckle will probably be on next month's poll. So we'll see if that one takes over. But Lily of the Valley like squeaked by. So that's what we're doing. The colors that we're using are a couple of blues, a couple of grays, and a couple of greens. I know that blue is not really a Lily of the Valley color, but one of the reference pictures that I looked at had a blue background, and I just loved how they looked together. So I decided to incorporate the blues. It's a mixture, as usual, of Pitt Artist brush pens and Tombows dual brush pens, and you can find the palette down below in case you would like to give it a try yourself. As for the doodle of the Lily of the Valley itself, it's actually not too difficult. The simple doodle anybody can pretty much do. You start with a curved line, and then you draw little curved lines going over the side of it to create those little stems. And then you basically draw like a little bell shape, but with a ruffled bottom, kind of like a little ghost. And I'll be honest with you, some of my Lily of the Valley blossoms look more like a ghost than they do a flower, but it's okay. It's all fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not creating a masterpiece here. And then you want to add the nice big tall leaves that the Lily of the Valley has. Let's move right into my June bullet journal setup. I think simplicity is going to be best. So I think what I'll do is I'll just put hello June here, and then draw a big Lily of the Valley here, and then cut it, and then put my massive to-do list right here. I went without the massive to-do list in May, and I'm already feeling the pain from that, so I'm not making that mistake twice. One of these things is not like the other. Very simple little kind of quote situation. I'm fine with that. I could get more into it, but I'm not going to. So what I wound up doing was using the darker blue in my color palette to do the lettering. And then I used the lighter gray to do a drop shadow. And then I thought, it needs something. So I used one of my skinny, I think extra small Pitt artist pens to do an outline that was kind of loose, kind of sloppy. And I still felt it needed something. So I added the little lily of the valley with a little bit of color added. And I think that's going to work. I'm not trying to make this super intense. As you're going to see, my thought process going through this is more of simplicity. You know what? It still could use one more thing. I think I'm going to put a dark gray. If I keep doing anything to it, I'm going to overdo it. So what I want to do here is just one big lily of the valley, and I will just do the cutty cut around it. To draw this, I did a little bit more detail, but not a ton. Did add some color, both gray on the blossoms, greens on the leaves, and then blue to kind of outline it to make it pop and to make it fit with the other side of the page. I don't know how I'm feeling about this, but whatever. We're going to just get moving. It's time to cut my situation here, and it's not going to be as complicated as it was last month, but I still wonder exactly how this is going to work out. I'm going to try and not be super detailed, but more generally, because this is fucking scary. Cutting away from the body. It's what I learned with razor blades at grocery stores. I was told that, and then I didn't do it. And then I cut myself, and now suddenly I'm cutting back towards my body now. So obviously I know nothing, Jon Snow. Yeah. I swear to God, I'm not like ever gonna be too precise with this, because that's just, it's not that it's too much work. I joke a lot about things being too much work, but it's more too much stress. I'm gonna round these corners really quick because I prefer the rounded look, and I'm going to trim off this excess. Oh my God, my hand is totally shaking. Is that the nervousness from the knife, or is that the caffeine, or what? I don't even know. Oh, this is a hot mess. I just want to get like the look, not necessarily the perfection, because I think I gave up on perfection in most things long ago. I'm in my fucking 40s now, you guys. Perfection was left many, many decades ago. I think what I'll do maybe is pull a shade of Campbell and put like a little calendar right here. I should have used the lighter. The lighter, actually, you know what? Fuck it. I can use the lighter. That will be like the bottom to match the box that's around this guy. We'll put a little line on top and bottom. Look at that. Fixed my fuck up. Woohoo! Where's my calendar? Oh my God. I better get this right first time. I should have used the skinnier fine liner for that, but whatevs. And then I'm going to echo this on the top here for my to-do list. And then I will fill that in later when I am not so shaky. I'm going to do a similar thing this last month where I was using the Zig dot marker as my dots, but I think I'll use the blue. I got one of the pastel blues here. I think this one is powder blue. And I'm just going to add some dots here to start the list and to remind me that I want to use these dots. I have a different idea for my calendar this month. I think I miscounted. I think I was using the May calendar to figure my calendar out. So that'll be okay. So I just counted one extra rows out and I don't think I need that extra row. I'm just going to erase this final situation here. Every month, for the most part, I have used the calendar spread to put in the calendar that I use for tracking things like videos and important dates. And then I would put habits that I wanted to follow, whether it's cleaning or whatever. The habits keep getting neglected. What I decided I was going to do this month was just focus on the habits I have in my power sheets and not put any extra habits on the calendar. So it's just going to be a calendar. However, I'm going to add an extra element. I want to add, kind of inspired by a planner that you'll see the review for in a couple of weeks. I want to add an additional box on the left of the calendar for each week to put like top 3 for that week or whatever in for like some future planning. So that's what I think I'm going to do. Okay, I think I made a mistake here, and it's gonna kind of throw my entire fucking plan off. It's just this line. That's the only one I fucked up on. Let's see if whiteout. You're gonna see my plan, but like I wanted to leave the box that was not full of days. So this would be top 3, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The last day of June is a Wednesday, so this would need to be one empty box. And so I need to get rid of that. But I feel like you're gonna see there's like a method here. I have like a plan. But I wonder if the whiteout tape is going to fuck the plan up or not. Because whiteout tape does not always do... It whites out, but it doesn't necessarily like... What the fuck is my whiteout tape? You would think. As often as I white shit out, I would know where it was. But I don't. Well, that sucks my ass. Okay, well, I guess we'll use a Posca pen, since I don't know where my whiteout is. Which seems like a bad idea, considering how often I fuck up. It's fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect is the enemy of the good and all that fucking shit. Okay, it's close enough. Let that dry, because I have a plan, you guys. I have a plan. And yes, I am living the ruler-free lifestyle, and yes... I did buy a new ruler though. Well, I did a review of the Passion Notebook and I realized I was having a problem because I didn't have a ruler with millimeters on it in order to properly measure the sides of the boxes. I do have one. It's a really big metal one, like a big metal one, like a yardstick type size. But it's underneath some stuff under my desk, and bending over fucks my kidneys up, and I was just not in the mood to be as careful as I was going to need to be. Maybe I'll do a little like this improvised box on top of each of these. It was either going to be that or a straight line. Oh my god, they're drifting upwards. I cannot for the life of me keep things fucking straight. My queer kid would make a fucking joke there too. Oh my god. Walk right into that shit. Good enough, right? Good enough. So I will take my skinnier friend here and write across the top. I'm going to put top 3 over the farthest left, and then the rest is Monday through Sunday. And then I'm going to number the boxes, and then I am going to draw in the lilies of the valley, and you will see my plan come to fruition, and you will understand why this little line here really pissed me off when I did it. Fuck my life. I did it again. Look at that. I just numbered my top 3s. Oh my god. Where is my whiteout? Is that my whiteout? I think I found it. Okay. I found it, and I'm going to white out over this just to really cover that shit up. And then we're going to... Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. I'm just so glad I was only 3 days deep when I found that. Just so glad. What I'm going to do really quick also to remind myself is I'm going to color this top 3 box in with a light gray. Now, I'm also going to mention up front while I'm coloring this in that my top 3s for this month are not going to necessarily be work related. They might be, but they're going to be the whole life. And so there's probably a very good chance that instead they are going to be move related. And I'm going to take the gray. This will probably make it bleed through. Let me see. It's pretty dark gray though. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Only a little bit of bleeding. I'm just fucking punishing my notebook this week and myself. You see how like the method here that I was going for was drawing the simple doodle in and then coloring the darker gray around it. And I found that if you do something like this, where you add color around it, and it takes something that's really simple and just elevates it a little bit. So this will be my monthly calendar, super simple. I've been really trying to do simple calendars lately, and I think this one it wasn't fast. I had to take some time to do it, and I certainly screwed up enough times. I really like the way this looks. It's very clean, but also not completely bland. I'm also going to make this calendar available as a download for my patrons. I'm continuing to track my steps this month. I'm wondering how often I'll hit 10K steps, considering how much packing and things we're going to be doing in June. Some of these look like flowers. Some of these look like little ghosts. Some of these look like a wet washcloth, but it's cool, man. It's cool, baby. It's cool. I wanted to simplify the coloring in of the steps this month just to keep the look of the page. So we have less than 5K, 5K to 10K, and above 10K for my colors. So this page is going to just be a very simple blank page. I want to use it to write down all of my address lists. So I'm just going to do the similar header. I'm not even counting here, but I'm just going to do the similar header that I did on the other pages and use this to make a list of all of the different places that I will need to change my address. And then I am going to use 2 different Zig color dot pens here, one for business and one for personal. And then kind of going off of the calendar situation, I just did a really gentle doodle, gentle is not even the right word, Lily of the Valley, and then colored around it with the gray marker. We're starting to get into the pages at the back of the Barren Fig that you can tear out. This last bit here is going to be for my lettering and my doodling challenges. I'm still catching up on them from this month because the trip kind of took it out of me. But I do want to try and do them in the month of June, since I don't know how much I will be up for it in the month of July. You can find these challenges on my website, Cindy Guentert-Baldo, or on my Instagram at Llama Letters. The lettering challenge is another playlist. This one is my Cindy Sings in the Car playlist. We wanted to get that ready to go for our road trip to Denver. And it's all songs that I love to sing at the top of my lungs when I'm in the car by myself or when I'm in the car with other people. And sometimes when I'm not in the car at all. And then the doodles for this month, throwing back to Animal Crossing New Horizons and all the other Animal Crossing games as well. I thought it would be fun to have all of the villagers I think are cute at least, because there's like 400 and some odd villagers. So I picked out 30 of the ones I think are the cutest And if you don't play Animal Crossing but you want to participate, you should have a lot of fun doodling them. Just look up the names on the list with the term Animal Crossing in the search, and you should be able to find pictures of each of them. They're all super cute, and you'll have fun doodling them, and it'll help you with like form, even though it's cartoony. Now, I was going to put in here a garage sale inventory and things like that, but I'm not sure if I'm doing that in here on my moving binder yet, so I didn't. So I think this is going to wrap up my setup. So let's take a look. Let's go back and look at everything that we did. We have my cover page and to-do list. I really like how this turned out, but this will likely be the most color in one spot in all of my bullet journal. Here's my calendar, which my patrons will also be getting today as a bonus situation. And then here is my steps tracker and my address change list to start making for business and personal address changes when we move. And then my spots for challenges. I will be doing the first weekly setup for June with a new weekly layout. This coming up Sunday on the 30th of May 2021, 30th May 2021 at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. I was thinking about something recently. So my kids have a very truncated summer break. They do here, they do in Colorado. It's only like 2 months. I could swear when I was a kid, our summer breaks were 3 months long. How long was your summer break when you were a kid and you were in like school? Not college, but like elementary school, high school, whatever the case may be. If you were in year-round school, you can tell me about that too. But if you did get a summer vacation as a kid, how long was it, if you can remember? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, friends, peace out.